Welcome viewers. Thanks a lot for visiting our YouTube channel 3D Parametric Solid Model Drawing. Here on our channel, you can watch a tutorial with different mechanical CAD application. This tutorial of computer mouse is related to SolidWorks software. Let us start the tutorial. Create a new part file and set the unit system of the file to IPS. Draw a new sketch on the top plane. Create a rectangle coincident with part origin with the help of Center Rectangle tool. Apply the dimensions as displayed here. Convert these two vertical lines of the rectangle into construction geometry. Draw two arcs connecting the endpoints of construction lines using the 3-point and apply the specified dimensions. Our sketch is complete, so exit from the sketching mode. Put the model in an isometric view using View Orientation Cube. Extrude this sketch up to 0.1875 inches and apply a draft angle of 15 degrees in the outward direction. Press the green tick button to execute the command. Change the color of the part according to your wish in the following way. Save the file with the default file name part1. Create a new sketch on the top plane of the model, or in other words, we can say at the base of the model. Activate the wireframe command. Now create a closed sketch profile using Convert Entities command. Select the edges of the bottom face of the model and activate the Convert Entities command. Here we got our closed sketch profile. Convert this sketch into construction geometry. Duplicate this sketch geometry by using Offset Entities command and put it at a distance of 0.09375 inches by adding a dimension between them. Reverse the direction of the sketch and execute the command. Again, create another sketch geometry is the same way at an offset distance of 0.03125 inches. Our sketch is complete, so exit from the sketching mode. Switch back to Shaded with Edges view. Select this sketch and activate the Extruded Cut tool. Flip the direction of cut in the depth field, fill the value 1 by 64 inches and execute the command. From Feature Manager tree, select the extruded cut and specify a color for it. Start a new sketch on the top plane and open the visibility of sketch 1. Change the orientation of the model and switch to top view. Draw a horizontal center line of the infinite length coincident with the part origin. Next, draw a rectangle of the specified dimension coincident with this center line. Take the project of this arc and convert it to construction geometry. Put a point on the arc and apply a dimension between the point and one edge on the rectangle. In this way, we have fully defined our sketch, so exit from the sketching mode. Now create a cavity of 1 by 64 inch depth in the base of the model with the aid of this sketch and Extruded Cut tool. Change the color of this feature as well so that it can be easily recognized. Turn off the visibility of the sketch 1. If all of you feel the speed of the video very fast or slow, you can modify it from the YouTube player. A speed control setting is available there in YouTube player. Now we will put this part file in the assembly by using Make Assembly from the Part option by visiting the File menu. Select a template of inch units for the new assembly. Turn on the visibility of part by activating the Graphic Preview option. Open the part origins and place the part in coincident with it. Give the file name Computer Mouse and save it. Switch to part and close it, then return to assembly file. Select this face of the part and change its color so we can easily recognize the side of the mouse. Next, create a new part in this assembly using the Insert New Part command. Select an inch part template. Save the file, name it as Part 2. Select the front plane to define the position of the new component. This will start a new sketch on this plane as well. Now create a sketch on this plane using intersection curve command by selecting the part 1 body and activating the command. Switch to front view. Convert all the sketches into construction geometry. Create a line from the end point of this sketch like this and apply a dimension of 0.25 inches on it. Create the same type of line on the other side and add an equal relation between both lines. Apply a parallel relation between this line and the projected edge. Next, place an angular dimension of 75 degrees between these lines. Create an arc between the end point of the lines. And apply the radius value as displayed here. Create one more horizontal line to close the loop of the sketch geometry. Finish the sketch. Return back to the isometric view. Activate the plane tool. Create a work plane on this edge parallel to the front plane. Click the View Planes button to see the newly created plane. Create a sketch here similar to that we had drawn earlier on the front plane. These lines will be equal and parallel to the lines of the previous sketch. Draw an arc connecting the end point of the lines and apply the dimension as displayed here. Close the loop of the sketch with a horizontal line and exit from the sketching mode. Close the visibility of this plane. Similarly, create another work plane on the opposite edge of the model by applying the same steps. In the plane dialog box, as a first reference, we select the model edge and this reference is coincident with this edge. And for the second reference, we have selected front plane and we define that the new plane will be parallel with the front plane. Start the sketching on this plane. Take the project of the previously drawn sketch and exit from the sketching mode. Close the visibility of this work plane. Create a sketch on the top face of the base part. Take the projects of the front and back edges and finish the sketch. Activate the Lofted Boss Base command. First, select these three sketches as profiles for the loft. Activate Guide Curves option and select the back arc to define the guide curves, then click OK. Similarly, add the front arc as guide curve. Next, activate the Preview option. Then click OK to apply and save the changes. Now the Loft 1 feature is created. This part is being created in the context of part 1. We created many sketches in this part by projecting them from the previous part and used them as a reference to create new sketch geometry. Save the file. Hide the visibility of the base part. Now we want to create a hollow in this part, so activate the Shell tool. Fill the thickness value 0.03125 inches and execute the command. Activate the Section View tool. You can see now it a hollow body with a uniform thickness of 0.03125 inches. Deactivate the section view. Create a new plane 0.15625 inches offset from this face of the model. Similarly, create another work plane on the other side. Now the two planes are at the required positions. Create a new work plane on the basis of 3 points which you can term references. Activate the Split tool. The first action the tool wants is to define a trimming surface, plane or sketch, so here select this plane which is plane 3. Choose the Cut Part button to perform the split. Deactivate the Consume Cut Bodies option. Now we have to define which parts we want to keep or remove. Here we need both, so place a check mark on both bodies and execute the command. Now see, two solid bodies are visible here in Feature Manager tree. The visibility of either body can be turned on or off at any point of the time. Activate the Split tool again. This time select plane 4 as trimming surface and split the body by pressing the cut part button. In the resulting body section, place a check mark before row number 1 and 3, then execute the command. If we check the feature manager tree, now we have 3 bodies. Close the visibility of the middle segment of the body and reopen it. Activate the split tool once again. This time select plane 5 to cut part. Select this face and activate on the Consume Cut Bodies option. Next click OK to apply and save the changes. Close the visibility of all planes. Now you can see we have cut the part according to our design by using the split command quite easily. Split command is a quite helpful tool for designing the multi-body part. Switch to Surface tab and activate the Offset Surface command. Select the inside face of the part. Fill the value 0 inches in the distance input box and execute the command. Hide the visibility of all the solid bodies. Activate the Extend Surface command. Select the top edge of the surface. Set the surface extend distance value to 0.0625 inches. Then select the bottom edge. Click OK. Open the visibility of split 3 body. Again, activate the split tool. Select this extended surface and cut the part on the basis of it. Specify which part to keep and execute the command. Hide the visibility of surface. Open the visibility of remaining solid bodies. Activate the Combine tool. Select all the solid bodies and execute the command. Here now you can see now a multi-body part is converted into a single body part. Return back to the assembly and save the file. Create a sketch on the front plane. And take the project of this edge. Add 2 points over the projected curve. Apply the dimension to fix them. This process will make our sketch fully defined. Create a line with the help of a center line and dimensions in the following way. Add one more point and apply the dimensions. Create an arc between these 2 points and apply the radius. Add one more arc in the sketch along with dimensions. Convert this projected sketch into construction geometry. Finally, create an arc between these endpoints to close the sketch geometry. Finish the sketch. With the help of this sketch, create openings on both sides of the component. Save the file. Hope all of you enjoyed the tutorial. Soon we will upload the remaining part of the tutorial with audio. In the past, we have published the related full tutorial, but that was without audio narration. So in the time being, you can take help of that video in completing the tutorial. The link of the same is mentioned in video description. If you have any question related to tutorial, feel free to ask in comment section. Please like the video and share it with your friends and colleagues. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get latest updates related to our new uploads.